Baltimore's have found a hidden gem once again. Enrique Bradfield Jr. is having an amazing spring training, leaving scouts and reporters questioning when he will be in the MLB. Welcome to Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice. And like I said in every video, hit that subscribe button. If you're a part of this percentage, let's change that today. Come join Orioles Digest. We're giving you daily updates with the Baltimore Orioles every single day that you don't want to miss. We are in week 2 of spring training, and Enrique Bradfield Jr. is showing his defensive ability and his sneaky power ability at the plate. In the past games of spring training, Enrique Bradfield Jr. went deep for a 405-foot home run, in which he added weight this offseason. And that could be a prospect that could be in the majors potentially soon. So in this video, we're going to talk all about Enrique Bradfield Jr., but let's get into the first topic of the day. How good can Enrique Bradfield Jr. be? Now, before we talk about how good Enrique can be, we're going to take a look at his numbers in the minors. So look below. Enrique Bradfield Jr. never hits that many home runs, averages around 4 to 6 home runs a year, as we've seen over his past 2 years in the minors. Now, his first year in the minors, he was in low A, then he made it to high A. But that second year was the massive jump for him. 75 walks. That's the key thing. He's a very patient hitter. Now, we've talked about Enrique Bradfield Jr. in past videos, but we haven't gone into a deep dive. Now, a lot of prospects think Enrique Bradfield Jr. is that 5-tool player, but he has yet to unlock that power ability. Now, he's added 10 pounds of muscle this spring, so we should probably see that sneaky power coming sometimes in the minors. I hope he makes it to Triple A this season, but let's go back to the numbers. Now, the key thing about this is his numbers are very good, but the OPS is flirting around 700, 740, 750. It's not something that you see in the top prospect. And the average is way up there, but he is a contact hitter, extra base hits. But the only problem with Enrique Bradfield Jr. is, can he be limited with power? We see Cedric Mullins. Everybody talks about Cedric Mullins as he's a sneaky power hitter. He's a great contact hitter. But let's not forget, he went 30 for 30 in the season. Will Enrique Bradfield Jr. ever have 30 home runs in a season? Right now, I don't have the answer for you, but I think he could possibly be. It just depends on how he develops. I don't understand why MLB Pipeline doesn't have him as a top 50 prospect anymore. He's one of the best prospects in the Baltimore's organization. He's better than Vance Honeycutt at this point. He would be one of the best prospects on multiple teams' organizations. But Enrique Bradfield Jr. has always been doubted his career. He was amazing at Vanderbilt. He was a top 20 pick for the Baltimore Orioles, and he's the succession plan after Cedric Mullins is gone. So I think he could be very good in the MLB. Now, his ceiling, I'm not going to say he has the Corbin Carroll ceiling, but he could possibly reach that potential because we've seen guys like him who are amazing on the base paths, have amazing defense, and have sneaky power. They can develop it over time. When could we see Enrique Bradfield Jr. in the majors? This season, maybe? Now, I put this prospect list up together because some of these guys are blocking Enrique's path to the majors. Yes, Heston Kjerstad, Kobe Mayo, not Vance Honeycutt, Chase McDermott. We have to realize when the Baltimore Orioles move prospects up, other guys have to go down. And Kobe Mayo, Samuel, and Chase all are going to be in the MLB at some point this season. Chase is recovering from an injury. Basalo probably is going to be in the MLB September call up, and Kobe Mayo is probably going to be on the opening day roster, as I hope. Can this finally be the year that he breaks out? We don't know that. But going back to Enrique Bradfield Jr., I don't understand why he's under Vance Honeycutt. I know Vance Honeycutt was one of the best players in college baseball, and they feel like he could be a generational prospect. But Enrique also has that generational talent. I don't think this year, because the outfield room is very crowded. Tyler O'Neill, Colton Cowser, Dylan Carlson, Cedric Mullins, Heston Kjerstad. There's not enough room for Enrique Bradfield Jr. right now, and he's only in Double A, so give him some time. I think he can make that jump to Triple A by the end of the season, and if he has the good Triple A and then goes into spring training next year dominating, then he possibly could make the opening day roster. But he's still very young. This is the succession plan after Cedric Mullins. If Cedric Mullins has a great year, then that's going to be like, okay, do we re-sign Cedric Mullins, or do we finally move in a direction to give Heston Kjerstad and Enrique Bradfield Jr. and maybe Vance Honeycutt? Because Vance Honeycutt could make a major jump this year. With that type of talent, he could possibly be in the MLB before Enrique Bradfield Jr. But I think Enrique's talent on the base pass alone helps this team in the long run. If Tyler O'Neill has an all-star season and doesn't opt out of his contract now, and that puts a situation where Heston Kjerstad's in the outfield, Colton Cowser, and Tyler O'Neill. What do you do with Vance Honeycutt and Enrique Bradfield Jr.? Because those prospects are not going to be in the minors for more than 2 years from now. So that's an interesting thing to say. I'm going to ask you guys this question. When do you think Enrique Bradfield Jr. will be in the majors? I say probably around 2026, the end of 2026, and maybe the beginning of 2027, but it just depends. If he goes and dominates AAA and AA this season, then I possibly think he could make the opening day roster next year. But for this year, Enrique Bradfield Jr. will not make the majors, in my opinion. Enrique Bradfield Jr. is showing so much promise in spring training right now. So if you pay attention to Baltimore spring training, most of the games are not televised, and that's very disappointing. I would have loved to see Jackson Holliday, Colton Cowser, Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, and Enrique Bradfield Jr. in action every single day. There have been two prospects that have been dominating in spring training right now. Basalo and Enrique Bradfield Jr. Both of those guys are having so many coaches, players, scouts, and just raving about them in the media. Now, Enrique Bradfield Jr. just had a monster home run yesterday. And if you didn't see that video, it's on the Orioles Twitter. It's on my Twitter page at Kam Brice on TV. You can follow me. I follow back. But other than that, Enrique Bradfield Jr. looks amazing, has amazing defensive highlights. He's doing everything you could possibly be. He looks like a Cedric Mullins 2.0, doesn't he? Might not have the same power ability, but we've seen earlier in Cedric Mullins' career, he didn't have that power ability that he has now. It took him a while, and then after that 30 for 30 season, he finally took off. So Enrique is showing signs of an everyday player and the future guy that you want in the center fielder. I say center fielder because that's the position Enrique Bradfield Jr. is going to be in. I like this guy a lot. He's one of my favorite prospects, including him and Vance Honeycutt. In the next couple of weeks, we'll do a video on Vance Honeycutt and I'll explain why he's so dangerous. But back to Enrique, guys, I just think he's one of those prospects that doesn't grow on trees. In today's game in the MLB, speed is the key. We see it with Corbin Carroll, we see it with LA De La Cruz, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt. Teams with the most speed and have players that can change the aspect of a game on the base paths make a good run in the playoffs. They have a good season. They have a good lineup. That's what can make the Baltimore Orioles so much dangerous in 2026 and 2027 with a guy like this. If you watched earlier in this video, I talked about I don't expect Enrique Bradfield Jr. to make the majors this year, but his type of ability and what he's shown on spring training can translate to double A. And I expect him to be in triple A in the next 3 to 4 months. If he produces well in double A like he did the end of last season, then hey, we never know. He could be on the spring training roster next year. He could also be on the opening day roster. We never know what Mike Elias, Brandon Hyde, and David Rubenstein's plans is for this team. But Enrique Bradfield Jr. is a special player, and I believe he's going to be one of those type of generational players. This is just a guy who has to develop more, and if he can unlock that power ability, like I've said before, unlock it, be a consistent contact and power hitter slash hitter, then Enrique Bradfield Jr. is going to be a name to watch. Watch out this year because this is going to be one of the best prospects in the MLB, and he will have a breakout season. Thank you for watching Orioles Digest. Hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. Like I've said in multiple other videos, me and John will have a live stream coming soon to talk about spring training, comments, concerns, anything you have. So turn on post notifications on because you don't want to miss it. From Orioles Digest, I'm Kam Brice.